Hi guys, we're doing a Copic mini class today. We are going to blend outside of family groups. And I'm going to show you how I do that, my process of it. I'm sure there's many ways to do it, but this is what I found works for me, and I'm going to share that with you guys. So we're going to do color up these two little fish markers. I can't remember exactly what I used to color this. I should have written it down, but I pulled out BG05, and we're going to put a very tiny bit of this onto the face of the fish. Now, my next color is BG02. Now, BG02 is much lighter, and I find it's easier if you have light on the end of it to blend out your next color. Okay, and my next color is YG05. Nope, that's not true. YG01. I'm going to try YG01. And I'm doing a swish flick. I made that up. I don't know if that's a real thing. But what I do is I am doing like a semicircle, I'm only hitting the paper a little bit. Let me get a piece of scrap paper here. When we flick with Copic, every time our pen, doesn't matter how careful we are always leaving puddles of color every time our marker touches the paper, and that is our traditional flick. Now in swish flick, I'm kind of going down and up. I wish you can see, I don't know, it's like a boat or a semicircle. So I'm kind of just flicking back and forth in this manner, using this to blend my colors together. Okay, so that is my invention to get through this process here. So now that I have YG01, and I know that's evaporated a little bit, I'm going to actually come in with YG05. I wanted a little alcohol in the paper because I wanted this to move. And I'm doing the swish flick with the YG05. Trying to see how far I went with my green here. So I'm going to go a little bit past his eye. Then I'm going to come back with my BG02 and help blend that in. So now I can flick from a safe spot here. And now I have a transition between blue and green. I'm going to come out again with YG01, and YG01 blends really well with YG05. So this is easy. So I'm just continuing to get that going along. Then I'm going to come in here and do some swish flicks with Y11. And then I can transition into here, I can flick in and do Y13. And so now we have this multiple color fish. We have a blue nose, a green head, and a yellow body. Okay, now it wasn't an accident how I picked these colors. I want to show you guys something. See if I can get them all lined up. I call it building a bridge. So I started with BG. BG02 is the lighter, and it has a G in it, and so does this. So they have a multiple color in common. I didn't go from blue to red. You can, that is another technique in my mind, but this was an easier transition. Then this is a natural blending group, YG05 to YG01, and then look, the Y is in common, and so we're blending into this. So I used a progression or built a bridge between my colors so that the blending was not difficult. If that, makes any sense. Hopefully that does. If not, let me know and I'll try to explain that a different way. I actually think I want my fish to have a little bit more blue. So I am going to come back in here just because it's an aesthetic thing, so I am going to push this blending back a little bit. So this is my BG05, my BG02. You see how it's pushing that green? It's making the green, yellow and blue make. And then I can go in with the YG05, kind of swish flick it. And I like that I can do it around that thin. I think that's actually better than my original. Excuse me. Come back in with my YG01 and just blend that out. And look at that. So I like that a little better. That was just an aesthetic thing that it really had nothing to do with blending. I just wanted more of the green so it didn't look so off balance. So let me know if you thought that was a good plan, bad plan. And I'm going to do this on the fins now, but very in a smaller way. So there is my BG, and I'm going to do a little bit of O2. And I think I'm just going to do green. I don't even think I'm going to put yellow on the fins. So I think I'm going to flick back into this, and this is going to blend pretty easy. Because they both have that G in them, I think we've got a handsome looking fish there. What do you guys think? We have red, and so does my orange, so that's their common thing. And I might need to add in YRO2. Let me see how this goes. And then if the Y's here, then I can blend into my Y's. So let's start going on our pink fish with RV, just like we did the BG05. I'm going to flick, and I am going to go a little farther. I'm going to try to match the dimensions I did of the other one. You know what? And I have to go back. I have to go back, right? And that's RV. This is RV02, which is much lighter, and so it's going to be that much easier to blend. So I'm kind of blending that out so I get a nice blend between my RV04. Now here's where my swish flick comes in. So now I'm going to take this 01, and I'm trying to dodge these little markings on her and blend that out and go around her eye. So now what I think I'm actually going to do is get YROO. I thought I would want O2, but I think I want OO. And I'm going to blend that out just a little bit, just a little lighter. And I'm putting more on this. In my original, I put very, very little orange. So it gets boring if you color everything the same. The process is the same. And I like that I can, you know, add a little bit of pink into that orange in it. It just works out so well. So now I'm going to go into my Y11. I can use it right under the marker. I'm going to go into Y11, and I'm going to swish flick into my orange, and they blend well because they both have the yellow base in common. And the orange really does fade out. You notice that? Look at that. It now goes pink right into yellow. But there's definitely there, and it served as the bridge to get from the pink to the yellow. Now from the other end, no sense in making this hard. We're just flicking into that Y11 because they blend so well. And there we go. There we go. I kind of want to keep a little bit of that orange in there. Let me show you my original. It kind of blended out the same way this one did. But I like how this has the blue, green, and then the yellow, and I feel like we're missing that tertiary color. So I am going to get my YRO2. I can't leave well enough alone, guys. I gotta play. This is how we learn, right? And I'm going to swish flick. Oh, I didn't want to get in there, Finn. That's okay. Adding that, I want to add that back in there. And I'm going to come in here with my YRO1. And I'm going to go to my Y11 and blend that out and see. Y11 is so easy to work with. And I'm going to try to get a little bit of this orange out of her fin, which it's working. What a dream. Such a good marker. Look at that. And I really like that that orange is in there. So I'm just playing around a little bit, getting a better blend. But there we go. I wanted her fin to stay yellow. I liked how on this guy it was yellow too. So there's some sort of continuity in there. Just blending that out a little bit. So what do you think, guys? How did we do? Do we make a really pretty fishy and a very handsome fishy? I think we did. I think so. So let's do the fins here. I'm going to do them the same way I did the boy fish. So I'm going to put a little bit of RV04, a little bit of RV02. I'm going to skip over those other ones here. This is going to be a real small space, so it's going to be easier to do. And Do we want to put a little yellow? Why not? So let's put a little yellow, some Y13. I think that looks good. Very nice. And I just am going to come in here and on her spots, I'm going to put Y02 on the bottom half of them. That's her eye, almost colored her eye orange. Okay, and then I'm going to put YOO, just blending it out a little bit. Easy peasy. Cute. I love her. I love it. I love it. I love it. And just while we're here, this little fish here, this is YR04, and I'm going to blend that out with YR02. I don't know what he's doing in the tank. Is he the chaperone for this event? They look like they need a chaperone. I'm going to do the seaweed real fast. I'm just using YG67. This is a little darker than my original, but that's okay. I didn't write down what I used, so I'm kind of just going through and remaking this up. And I like to be able to change stuff, and then you can see it in 2 different colors. And you can say, hey, I want to try this or that, and you can decide which one you like. So it's kind of fun. And I think you learn by picking different things. If you pick the same things all the time, it would get boring. All right, for the sand, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to draw and do a very good job. I kind of wanted a little hill, and I'm going to fill the whole hill in with this E23, and this is definitely darker than what I did on my other one, but that's okay. Maybe they have dirt in their tank, and I didn't want it to be straight flat. I did that on my other one, and I always thought that kind of looked funny, so there we go. Now I'm going to let that dry just a little bit. I have plans for that, and while I'm at it, I'm going to take BOO and BOOO. I might just start with BOOO. Let's see how this works. And I just think this kind of creates the illusion of water. I like to just outline the fishbowl just a little bit. And I'm going to put a little bit across here on the bottom. I just think I don't know, I think it allows your eyes to kind of go, oh yeah, that's blue. You could color the whole thing. It just would take a while. And I'm going to do the top and the bottom in BOO. And notice I'm not doing any shading. I want all the focus. We spent all the time on the fish and did the hard stuff. I want all my focus to be where it needs to be. I have an idea. I'm going to change my bubbles up a little bit as well. I'm going to make them darker to start with. So on this side, I'm going to... When I color those, they just don't have enough shading. I might go back in and do some shading on those. So on this side, I'm putting BO2, and I was going to use BO1, but because I want to enhance the contrast, I'm going to come in here with this is OO. So I'm going to skip and blend that out. Boy, these ones up here are small. I kind of see how that happened. But hey, now this is where I think I'm going to get crazy. I'm going to let's grab RVOO. Let's try this. You never try, never know. I am going to flick in just a little bit of pink. Good idea, bad idea? I don't know. Just feels like heart should have that reddish tone. I kind of like it. And we're in this playing with color thing. Just broke my own rule though. In reality, I should say this. You can probably blend any colors you want together in Copic. There's lots of tips and tricks out there on how to do that. There are some, I couldn't imagine trying to blend some of these things together, but it can be done. Don't get me wrong, it totally can be done. This is my tip for doing like rainbows and kind of making it manageable. So I think I'm going to do this to this card too, but I'll do that off camera so I'm not boring the bubbles out of you. All right, so let's finish up this sand, and I'm going to grab E27, And what I'm going to do is, I got to hold my marker kind of up and down, but I'm going to put a bunch of dots. I don't know if you can kind of see that. I'm trying to make them as random as possible. Okay, I'm going to grab E19. This kind of got a little bit of a reddish, and I'm just doing the same thing. And this is it. I could go and do this all day long and make, I love pointillism and creating texture in cards. So there we go. So we'll leave that as is. Again, like I said, stay focused, Chris. Stay focused. All right, so last little things here. I've got a little bit of ink in her eye. A teeny bit of ink in his eye, so I'm just cleaning that up with a gel pen. And now I'm going to glue that onto my card. All right, check it out. We've got our finished card, almost finished card. The last little thing I decided I was going to do is, back when I made this card originally, I didn't have this pen. This is a glaze pen, and it makes whatever you touch with it kind of shiny. And since I want their eyes to be kind of important, I'm just going to put a dot of that glaze pen on their eyes. And I just think that helps kind of, it brings them to life a little bit more. I do that on my original too, because, you know, why not? So there they go. I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini class. I hope you guys learned something. I enjoyed doing this mini class. Thank you for coming to color with me. There's definitely a difference in our fish, just the colors. I like this one better, but it might be just the mood I'm in. I don't know. Tell me which one you guys like better, the more tropical-y fish or the more pastel-y fish. I love hearing what you guys think. If you have any ideas or want to see anything, please let me know. It gives me ideas of what to do for you guys next. Have fun, guys, and I'll see you on the next card.